Hello, my name is Christopher Columbus. I was born February 4th, 1746, in the town of Jefferson, Poland.
I was an American woman in the British War. I was born on May 12, 1820.
I was born in February 5, 1821 in Bristol. I am the third daughter of Samuel and Anna Blackwell. I have 2 older sisters and 6 younger brothers and sisters.
When I was 2 years old, my father left me work. Then the very year my mother died. So my grandparents took care of me for 4 years.
My first years I spent them with my father at his workshop. I was mostly a bookseller and a map maker. Since I was a map maker, I knew a lot about the world. When I was 19, I was selected 79th out of 80 students to go to the night school.
When I was younger, my mother and I went to a hospital. I saw what the nurses were doing, and I wanted to help. But I messed it all up.
At this school, I was admired by my classmates, and they often came to me for advice. In 1776, I joined the Colonial Army, where I was a very skilled engineer. In 1779, I was appointed head of the Corps of Engineers for the Northern Army.
When I was 11, my family moved in US in 1832, and my father died in 1838. I'm passionate about teaching, learning, and caring for others.
So, when I was 35, I went to nursing school. I later became a nurse. A few years later, I went to work at war. I took a ship to the British war to help hundreds of thousands of soldiers and people.
I flew for the first time to the medical hall on the occasion of a friend in Cincinnati who probably served as a cancer. This friend impressed me by declared by a woman doctor who had probably made her a treatment more comfortable. It is this that I have chosen this profession, and I started my studies in Oba and William College in New York. Braving the difficulties on my way, I finished in January 23, 1849, first of my class, and I became the first woman to obtain a medical diploma in US. I am the first woman doctor. I realized my dream. I'm not married. I'm Dr. Delta Katie Berry, and I died in May 31st, 1910. Thank you.
When I was early 20s, I wanted to be like the Indian and animals. I have a stepmother and similar family.
I also later on became very interested on boats and traveling. So much that later on I went to voyages and expeditions. The first voyage I went to, I found many islands, one of them that I liked and still got rewarded by the King and Queen of Italy. Later on, I went to an expedition and I found America. My first conclusion was that there was nobody there. Later on, I found out that there was people there, and then I came up with another conclusion that there is people there. On July 15th, 1787, I left the United States to help liberate Poland. In 1797, I returned to the United States and developed a long-lasting friendship with Thomas Jefferson.
I later died of natural causes. I was 90 years old when I died. When I was working, I had a nickname. My nickname was the Lady with the Lamp. When I died, my legacy continued. I made a mark on the world, and so can you. Thank you.
Then I found out that they were Native Americans. They spoke a different language than what we did, and it was kind of hard to understand what they said. And Christopher Columbus, came from Italy all the way to America, and I brought many diseases which wiped out most of the Native American population, and I died in 1506.